Hey guys, this is Eric from ET Figure Unboxing, and in this video, we're going to take a look at the Robot Spirit Wing Zero. So I did the Gundam Wing earlier, so do check out the video. And yeah, we're just gonna take a quick look at the figure. I'm not gonna go too much in detail, but of course we're still gonna look at everything he came with. And here's the back of the box. And this box is too long for me to show you the side of the box. So I'm just gonna try to. Nah, I can't do it. Let's jump straight into it. Alright, so the figure came with a lot of stuff. He came with like 2 pairs of hands, some other extra hand, and a shield, and the extra legs. I'm guessing for the bird mode, of course, and the wings, and the double buster rifle, and double lightsaber or the beam saber, and the figure itself. And let's check out what the figure. Alright, so here we have the figure itself, and as you can see, he looks really good. He just looks like he walked out from the anime, and that looks great. We're just gonna take a closer look. The paint job and the sculpt, everything looks nice. I don't have a fancy vocabulary for any of this, but he just looks really good. And I already assembled the wings. And yeah, let's jump straight into the articulation, because I don't think there's too much for me to talk about a sculpt, because you guys already pretty much know. Alright, so for the articulation, he's really straightforward. Like, he can do the bicep swivel, no problem. I think there's a swivel. Yeah, there's swivel, bicep curl, and it's on a double joint, and all the shoulder pieces, you can do that because he can obviously turn into bird mode. He has the pull out shoulder, so it allows more articulation when he's holding a buster rifle, and the head moves around that much. Ab crunch is okay. It's not as good as I thought it would be, and then of course the leg can move around that much. So my favorite part about this figure is it has to be the wing, because it's obviously Wing Zero, right? And I remember this being my favorite Gundam in the anime, and this looks really good. Like, this is on a really tight hinge. So it just opens like so, and that looks great. You can just see like how he tries to like charge into people in the show. Like, I really like this motion he can do with all these wings, and that looks really good. Like, he will just like, start, like flying really fast, kicking people's ass, and then, turning all 360, doing the Gundam stuff, and then, fly back, and then, try to stop everything. But yeah, that was really good. And let's get into the accessories. Alright, so he doesn't really stand too well on his own. I'm just gonna place him right here. He came with a shield, and the shield can like pop out like that, because in the show I think it pops out for him to hit people. And here we have the buster rifle. And these are, of course, the twin buster. I think that's what they call. I forgot. And of course, they can combine together like so, like that, and that looks pretty good. And what you do is you just try to hide one of the handle in so he can hold it. And that's what he looks like. All right, so here we have him assembled with the shield and the rifle, and he looks really good. Now I'm kind of regretting that I already sold this guy, and this is technically not my figure anymore. I will be mailing him on Friday, but now I look at it again, he is really good. Like, it just looks really awesome. But again, the rifle is kind of heavy, so I will be really careful when I'm playing with this, not to like, play with it too much, because I think it does get kind of heavy and he can't really hold it. But yeah, this is what he looks like with the shield and this is his classic look, basically, and that is really awesome. Alright, so Wing Zero also came with these shoulder machine guns, or some kind of like, Gatling gun you can put on his shoulder. You just have to remove the pieces from the white part. I'm not gonna do that because it's technically not my figure anymore. I don't want to risk breaking anything, and it's also very difficult to put on, and they're very tiny. So yeah, this is what it will look like. Now I'm just gonna do it for you guys. Do it, man. In my channel, we do it. So this is what he will look like assembled with the guns. And that looks really good. And apparently in the show, I remember these guns being really strong. Despite how small they look. I remember like he just does that a lot. I just don't get how these small bullets can be so powerful. Because we have the heavy arm Gundam, right? But yeah, that's just one thing I noticed. I remember him like just flying back and shooting at people, and that being really strong. But why don't you just, use a blaster rifle? I understand like when there's like missiles coming at him and he would just shoot down the missiles or something, but I remember seeing this guy just using the shoulder, the machine gun, blasting over people. And yeah, that's kind of cool. Alright, so here I have him holding the beam saber, and let's check out what that looks like. Alright, so here's him holding the dual wheel, or Nitoryu, like as Japanese people would say, and that looks really good. But I don't remember him using the lightsaber too much or the beam saber too much, just because he got spoiled by the twin rifle or the buster rifle he uses all the time. And yeah, that looks really good still. Like, you have the option to pose him with it, but I just throw away a shield over here. And that looks great. He came with this extra hand. It's already combined together. I'm just gonna show you guys right here. So it's like molded together, so you can use the twin rifle like this, just like what he did in the show for the last scene. He's like, I'm gonna survive, and then like, you know, the Gundam started like peeling off, and then, you know, he did a really crazy blast to finish off the whatever, like the boulder that's coming to the earth. And that looks really good. Oh, I think he did this, yeah, like he was flying over here and then just trying to, you know, like hitting this over the atmosphere, and that looks really good. I like it. I almost forgot the most BS pose he does in the show. Like he just like, you know, shoot left and right and start turning, and then everything gets destroyed. I don't really have the space for doing that, but yeah, you get the idea. He can pull that off pretty easily. But I think the rifle gets kind of heavy though. And again, the bird mode looks like a pain in the ass to do, because you have to remove the legs, you have to change the torso, you got to turn, and then plug, and then you have the bird mode. But you know, in this channel, we do it. Alright, again, that took me about 5 minutes. And of course, the first time you do it, it's gonna be quite tough. And it looks quite good. And just like what I mentioned in the previous video, like in the TV show, they just turn it into this and then just fly around really, really fast. And obviously in the video game, they can turn into this and crash into people, and supposedly that's really, really powerful. And one thing to note is that you can plug like an extra piece over here, so you can like put it on the Tamashii stage. They really thought this through, and the design is really, really good. It's just you have to like swap out these legs and the torso. I don't really like that, but you know, they did a really, really good job on like doing this. And let's get into some size comparison. Alright, so for the size comparison, luckily we have the Gundam wing right here, which I just did, like from the other video. So they are about the same size, and yeah, very small. Like I mentioned in the other video, if you haven't checked that out, you should, because I basically talk about it. And there's Figma, Kirito, and here is Persona U, and we have Bruce Lee. So they're as tall as Bruce Lee, and like I mentioned many times, they're just very small, and I don't really like small Gundam figures. And when I first bought them, I thought they would be a lot bigger, but turns out they're very, very small. And here's the Makoto, of course, and here is Minato from the Naruto series, and here we have Kurapika from Hunter x Hunter. And let's see what he looks like next to some of my figures over here. I gotta be really careful because he doesn't stand too well sometimes. I gotta balance it a little bit better. And yeah, this is what he will look like next to Hulk, Gohan, and other people. It just looks really small. Just look how tiny he is. Like the head is really small and everything. And yeah, let's jump straight into the backdrops, and we can take a better look at some of the other figures behind the drop, and you can just see how tiny he is, like from this angle. Like you guys probably know how tall the backdrop is by now. And here we have him next to Thor and some of the other SH figure arts and Dragon Ball figures. And just look at Thor and the Captain America. He just looks really short and tiny, like compared to them. I feel like if they're like the Robot Tamashii line is a little bit taller, I will be really happy with it. But let's jump straight into the final thoughts and see what we have. Alright, so for the final thoughts, I highly recommend the figure for people who really like Robot Tamashii line. But I don't recommend it if you don't have any of the Robot Tamashii, because I don't think it's a really good standalone piece. I'm not sure if you guys agree with me or not. For example, if I have like the Ultimate Gohan right here, he is a really good standalone piece. I don't think I need to necessarily buy Boo or something standing next to him to look good. He will just look good on his own. But for this, I think I need a whole team of like Gundam Wing or something to have my figure stand out. He's just too small. But other than that, he is perfect. The sculpt, the paintwork, everything is good. Like the accessories, he came with a fair amount. He can turn into a bird. He does everything you want him to do. He's just Gundam Wing, right? Like the Wing Zero. Wing Zero is Wing Zero. And he just looks exactly like he is in the anime. But yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I will be doing Epion next, hopefully by tomorrow. And I will have the Dragon Ball Z Super, not Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super Beerus review up tomorrow at, I think, latest 10 o'clock. I live in California. And I'll see you guys in the next video then.